You're still here tuning in to the Festivals of Storytellers with us, with Leah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're still good.
So you have already watched the pre-recording of Miss Nikki Geiger, one of our beloved authors here in New York, with her book, Who's Yawning Now? So who's actually yawning now? I mean, both of us have been yawning already.
Right. And you know what? Nancy also got the chance to tackle the book of Ms. Letitia Thompson, which her book also talks about the wealth, about planning your future, right? So the title is just Your Wealth Lives Within. Yes. So you know what? I like the genre of her book, especially when it comes to it's actually a self-help type of book, and this is actually a great I would say that a great book, especially when it comes to providing what you call this one, providing advices to someone that is also let's say struggling to make a better future, struggling to plan what it takes that they need to do in order for them to have a wealthy living, right?
Yes. I mean, everyone has like having a hard time to become wealthy. I mean, even us, like you're working hard, doing a lot of jobs, like 2, 3, freelancing, and a lot of things going on.
Exactly.
So it's still so hard to earn a lot to be wealthy. So this book is actually talking a lot more about that and how do we do one thing to like improve yourself and the mindset.
Right. Especially mind. Let's say, mindset is really such a big factor when it comes to planning, because when you think of, when you think things ahead of time, then probably you will really get a positive outcome, a better outcome.
Planning is also one way of like making things easier for you. Because I think sometimes if you're not planning ahead of time, of course, there's some things like setbacks or like unexpected things happening, but at least if you're planning something, you can get through it easier because you have things that you already like step by step that you want to do rather than like just going throughout like, okay, then I'll just go ahead.
Right. It's better to be organized.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Right. And you know what? Also, Lakeisha Townsend's book, Nelsie, for me, it's not just about talking about how to live life, being a wealthy one, but there's also a lot of guidance that's going on there, especially when it comes to parental mindset. Let's say you, as a parent, give advice to your family, your children, on how to be more responsible when it comes to deciding things, when it comes to money, yes, when it comes to all aspects in life, making sure that it will provide a better outcome, especially when you're already, especially when there's a lot of things that you really wanted to achieve in life. So be organized.
Yes, I mean, having parental mindset and guidance on how to handle things is actually really one of the good things to have. I mean, if you're a kid, sometimes there's a lot of kids right now that doesn't have lots of that mindset because I mean, before we were already taught earlier at that age so that we won't depend on our parents.
That's right.
That right now is actually a little bit different because a lot of parents right now are trying to spoil their kids too much, and that is not a good result on moving forward for the kids because they will be depending too much on your mom and your parents and all that. Because with the kids that doesn't have that was already trained and was already have those guidance with their parents are actually more having a lot more improvement that they can do a lot more themselves. They can buy the things, they can decide that no, I don't need this. No, I need this. Like something easy on a daily basis, but it's actually really hard to do when you don't have a method.
Sure. I would totally agree with that, Nancy. And you know what? Being, for me as a parent, I mean, well, we're not parents yet, but I know that we're already taught by the upbringing from our each family. So it's also a good thing that we also get the chance to really see how they're also struggling when it comes to providing the necessary needs that we really have to have in life. And it's actually, I must say that spoiling someone, especially when we're kids, let's say it could be, there's like pros and cons to it. There's advantages and advantages. Right.
Actually most of the time. Yeah, because the thing with the parents back then, because they didn't have much sometimes and they cannot get what they want directly. That's why they're teaching us in our generation that you need to get the things that you want yourself. Like try to work hard for it. Try to
strive hard.
Yeah, try to strive hard. Like be mindful of how you do your things. Be mindful of how to like spend your money. But because it's like the generation right now, it's easy because the younger parents can do work, can get money faster because it's like a lot of social media, online things that they can actually work on. So it's like easier to get money. That's why they try to swallow their kids too much. Because
But then again, there's an advantage to this,
yeah,
right?
so yes, there's also advantages.
That's why, for especially if there are also parents who's listening right now, what I can advise, even though I'm not a parent yet, but this is actually usually the observations that I encounter, especially when I have, because I also have younger siblings, so one of the advantages that I can say, especially when you're giving out something for them to, easier for them to get, there are things that we really tend let them into not listening anymore to you. Yeah. Especially when they can just say, "Hey, I want this," and then you easily give them those things. Yeah. There are really tendencies that would really lead them into those, having those bad habits.
A lot of
and especially you're not really letting them learn on how to really strive hard in order for you to achieve that. Yeah. In order for you to get that specific thing you want.
I mean, that's actually true. I actually also do have like siblings at home, so it's quite hard to like deal with them because my mom's been spoiling them a lot, and they're relying like everything that they want is already given to them. So like it's so easily, so it's easy for them. So that sometimes they don't listen. But on our generation, like we just have those things until we until we top like down, until lonely. So like first,
not until you have tears in your face.
So you have those goals set for your parents, like you can have that if you're gonna be the top of your class by the end of like
there will be conditions, right?
Conditions, but right now there's no conditions for kids wanting it. But I think it's also the truth of it is because the kids right now don't experience it the hardship. Like
there are some. I mean, there are still,
of course, but they're more like a little bit more privileged.
Yeah, that's why we really need to taught our kids to also consider some things, especially, providing them advice to say, hey, it's not all the time that we can give you this, so because we might not know what happened.
Yeah,
what if
they don't,
right?
What if, so that's why they need to learn, like, to have the proper guidance, and also they need to know how to steer money. Like, they need to steer, they need to know how, like, especially right now, like we're working, right? So we're earning our own money, and if it's your own earning, sometimes you're like you have the fear to like spend it. Like, even though you already know the hard. Yeah, it's so hard to get it. That's why it's so hard to also spend it because it's yours. But because the kids right now doesn't earn it, they were just given that. So they don't really think too much about those things. I mean, for me and for you, actually, if we're like earning right now and then we get our salary, and we're like, should I pay or should I not?
Right. Even though they're still young ones, but I know that there's still going to be a lot of opportunity for them to really learn to consider a lot of things. Because again, every person was already, was filled with experiences, right? So they need to know if they would be able to also meet someone, and then they also get the chance to learn more about these things, consider a lot of things that, hey, life is really not fair.
A lot. Very not fair.
Right. So they might, get the chance to also consider things, and then time lets them to have that learning.
It's really good to also
right.
But it's good also to learn it in early ages. So that because sometimes when you're not learning something from your early ages, and you grow into it, like that's gonna be your attitude from the because that's your attitude from the get go, or your kid, and no one's trying to say no, that's not good, that's not good, like the good thing, that's not right. If no one's gonna tell that to you, the problem is you're gonna get it until you're old enough, you're older, and you'll just think, it's okay, because no one did ever told me that this is not right.
Right. So for me, as what I have, understand the way I understand Miss Patricia Townsend's book, this is exactly like a complete self complete self of guidance, of thorough knowledge to again have the to set your mind, mind conditioning to have fear when it comes to especially investments, right?
Of course.
I mean, you should really know when to stop, when to start.
Yes. Because
And to have that planning, be organized to also make sure that you can achieve that.
Yes.
But I think that you want to have.
Yes, I mean, investment is one of the things that are actually starting to like grow right now. I mean, before there's not much of things you can invest in.
Right.
But right now there's a lot of things, and we need to know where to invest and which properly, like which things we should actually really invest in. Sometimes investing is also that thing. Like, I mean, it's gonna be a bit of your downfall sometimes. Like if you invest somewhere that you don't even know what is it about. So when investing something, actually we need to know what it is about, or
Right.
is it gonna last for like for a
Exactly.
long time? Am I gonna get something from it, or I'm just gonna waste my money?
That's right. You really need to make sure when would be the right time for you to invest. And also, again, you can really do some like thinking ahead of time. What will I be getting after this, right? That's right. So here, I really love the topic of Ms. Letitia Townsend's book, and it's actually a good thing because again, another guidance, another help for someone who's also facing some struggles when it comes to, let's say, budgeting. Like because again, it talks about money, it talks about wealthy. So yeah, this is going to be a great guidance as well for everyone out there who's wanting to have Ms. Letitia Townsend's book. Again, her book is also available in
Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. So everyone who actually wants to know more and how to invest, how to gain of money, and how to deal with your wealth, how to have those mindsets, and how to fear your money actually. Fear it. Because like money is one of the rulers right now. If you don't have money, you won't be able to do much right now. So if you're
I would
actually
totally agree with that 100%.
so if you're really interested,
Money can really do a lot of things.
yes.
You can't even control people. Yeah,
Yeah, for everything. Money is like
to be honest, let's be open to that, right?
yeah. I mean, we're working because of money also.
Sure.
Part of it.
It's exactly the reason why we're here now, guys.
So, I mean, part of it is we're doing our career, but
Of
also
course.
money for our family also. Because we need to provide a lot of things for us.
Exactly.
That's also part of it. So for the ones who are actually really, really interested in knowing a lot more about money, so you can just grab a copy of Location
Confident. Right. Letitia Townsend's book, again.
available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Going forward, actually, we have the pre-recording author interview with Nikki Geiger with her book, Who's Yawning Now. It is an educational picture book for kids right now with a lot of animals that are yawning. Actually, we're already been yawning here. We're part of that book.
Right. Because we're also animals, right?
Yes.
And here, you know what? We're very grateful as well as Nancy that we're given this chance to really talk to an author who's also award-winning author who already have a lot of recognition.
Yes.
Right. She's actually like a lot. Gained a lot of positive feedback from reviewers, readers, because of the book that she's been creating for how many years already. And this is actually not her one and only book, but there's also a lot of books that really talks about animals, talks about mammals, about insects.
Yes.
It's very interesting, and I know that this is going to be something great for, especially with kids, right?
Because Nikki Geiger is actually a landscape photographer and a writer. That's why she had a lot of things built up with like animals and a lot of animals yawning as a photographer. You're gonna get fascinated, and he had her topic of like just take a picture of those animals that are actually yawning, and sometimes we'll actually like scanning throughout the book. This connection, like if someone's yawning, you're actually gonna be yawning.
That's right.
I'm not sure why that happens and how that happens, but it actually happens.
First, it's like there's a connection when you see someone yawning. It would really happen.
Primarily, like
right. I'm not sure why, but for me, maybe because humans are maybe because we're tired or we're hungry. This is part. I actually there's something I'm not really sure because but that's what I have remembered.
Yeah, mostly because we're like tired, but it's a little bit fascinating fascinating also when you see someone yawning, you feel like yawning too, like
Right.
involuntarily. Like that's the one of the
Exactly. So please, Chelsea, don't yawn, okay? Because I might yawn too. That's right. And you know what? It's very interesting because in this book of Ms. Nikki Geiger, she's also talking about what are the animal skills, and what are the things that they can do, let's say the capabilities that they can have. I mean, that they can do, as well as you know, having the discovery of their attitude when it comes to interacting with other animals. So yeah, it's actually a good guidance.
It's actually a good guidance for the kids so that the kids will not like it. Because it's not like all of the kids will see all of those animals. I think so. This is also a good guidance to let them know like which animal is which and what do they do. Like if it's a monkey, what does a monkey do? What's faithful monkey?
Right.
How does the monkey live? What does the monkey eat? Something like that. There's a lot of things that you don't know. Like I mean, like for us adults, we already kind of know about it because we've been having all those conversations. Because the kids doesn't really know much about that as they are starting and they want to know more, of course. And picture books is actually one of the things that actually can really, really, really help them.
Yes.
Let them see all these things, not just describe.
That's actually one of the good things about pictures book because again, somehow it's not like just you imagining those pictures, but it's already in the book. It's already in there, so you can just see a lot of pictures, especially taken by Ms. Nikki Geiger.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of things that you can discover. See pictures of different kinds of animals, and also one of the things that I am very interested is because again this inspiration coming from Nikki Geiger creating this book is also from her love of travel.
Yeah, of course. Like I mean, traveling around as a travel writer, you're going around the world. Just like what we talked about Sutterall earlier, that he has been traveling for like 40 countries just to discover that he will like move. Well, Mrs. Geiger was actually traveling as a writer and also like a photographer. So while traveling around the world, you will see a lot of different species of animals.
Exactly.
Like I mean, if you're staying in our place, where you can see like dogs, cats, different species, birds. But if we go to other countries, they still do have the same dog and cat, but it's a different type of dog and cat.
That's right.
So I mean, traveling.
What about you, Nelsie? Do you have like a pet?
Yes, I do have a pet. I actually have two cats at home. Actually.
Wow, that's cute.
Yeah, I just like domestic cats. But if I do have other cats. I mean, I'm a cat lady, probably. How about
you? You want to have like a dozen of cats.
If I don't get married, I'll be a cat lady and a house full of cats dedicated to my cats and my wheel of necessity will be for my
I can imagine you. Doing like Catwoman costumes for the Halloween.
For the Halloween,
yeah. What have you done? I mean, what was your
cat
character?
The character, like cat costume, will be like just the face of my cat and my t-shirt.
Well, that's so cute.
And the pajamas with all faces of my cat. That's the Catwoman.
Catwoman.
The girl Catwoman.
Right. And you know what, Nelsie? It's actually a good thing that you can also like have pets, like cats or dogs, because it's also another way to also relieve stress, right?
Yeah, it's actually a really good thing to relieve stress. Because I mean, they're actually fun to have, but like when you're a bit stressed out, animals and pets, like any animals, especially your pets at home, can actually really feel if you're stressed out, if you're having anxiety, if you're having a bad day, something like that. Because actually, my cat sometimes also like if having like a fire or like I'm having really bad day, and they usually don't get up. I don't I grieve them, but I don't look at them as much. Sometimes they try to give me some comfort and sleep beside me and purr a lot because purring for cats is actually one of like the way for them to heal. So purring with their owner is actually one of the good things. I mean, it means they're helping you to heal something.
Right. Oh, like
yeah.
That. So I'm gonna have one.
Yeah.
Not today, but yeah, maybe soon.
And it's actually really nice because they sleep with you, and I mean, cats. Like for me, cats actually sleep a lot. like most of the day, like 16 hours a day, they sleep a lot. So I mean, cat is my spiritual animal, so my soul animal.
She also loves sleeping a lot.
A lot. If I can have the whole day without waking up, I'll just
Right. I would say that again, since you're one of our stress relievers, this is actually also a good therapy, especially again, as what you have mentioned earlier, that you're when there are times that you're actually going on to something, and it's a good thing that even if no one no one that can really talk to, but it's a good thing that you have a cat or have a pet that can really rely on. You have some
can have a little fun. You can play with them.
like a little bit.
Yes, you can just play it with them a little bit so that you can enjoy the rest of the day and you don't even know it's already the end of the day. Actually. So that's one of the good things you have. Do you have this?
No, I don't have. That's why I mentioned earlier that I wanted to have one,
maybe next year.
But, well, if someone can give me one, then I'd love to have that.
Yeah, that would be really great. I mean, there's a lot of adoption actually, and sometimes with cats and dogs, actually this thing going on like you don't choose them; they choose you.
Yeah, right. It's like an avatar, right?
Yeah,
you get the chance to. I mean, you like that something out there, but if it's not really meant for you, then it will not happen. But
it's for you, it's for you. But for like animals, sometimes, especially with pets and cats, actually, sometimes if they really like you and they see that they can be comfortable and have the same space with you, then they will try to be with you. But if not, they won't.
wow, that's so long.
Yeah, that's well. Yeah. So hopefully soon you will have one, and hopefully you will be yawning with them too.
Right. And you know what? I can say that one of the good thing about this Nikki Geiger's book, because again, it's not just about you having the pet, but it's also having that thorough knowledge on how to take care of them, on how to also understand their, let's say, language, because again, they can't speak, right? They don't be able to really tell you, hey, I wanted to eat, but it's about it's about providing knowledge on the skills of what are the animals are really and how wanted to relate to you, wanted to have that message to you. I mean, it's actually a good thing as well that having these kinds of books really help a lot of people, especially those who really want to have a pet, just like me, right? I mean, I know I'm gonna have this book as well because again, I really wanted to know, especially understanding them the role, right?
That's how things are.
How they act.
How they act, how their attitude, and a lot of things. And this is also a picture of like you can share with you have younger siblings maybe, or you have nieces and nephews that are around, and you can show it to them. This is the animals, and sometimes a lot of kids doesn't know what animals, as I said to you. Mostly they just know dog, cat, and birds because that's what they see every day because that's the funnest thing. So sometimes this picture, like educational book, is actually really good for them to discover a lot of those kinds of animals. Because Tiki Geiger's like picture book was yawning now, and actually there's a lot of animals that she has features there, like yawning and describing all those behaviors on the book as an animal. So actually really, really, really helpful for the kids especially the ones starting to learn, like 2 years old, 3 years old, that's where the learning starts. And picture book the picture book is actually really, really nice. So, like with the mothers there that who just think it's hard to distract the kids. Like I mean, if you're reading a book that doesn't have if you're already old enough and willing to read a book, it will be nice to have your own imagination and explore. But for kids,
exactly right.
it's a little bit challenging. You need to explain a lot of things before they can get it. It's just a simple balloon, but you need to tell them no, it has air inside. It has color. You need to do this.
Yes, there will be a lot of learning that was really going on.
You're learning also throughout the kid. Actually.
That's right. And you know what? On this book, now, I can tell that it's not just about Nick Geiger's expressing on how to have pets and how to really love them, but it's also the other way around. Because here, and I know that she's also let's say discussing about the advantages and inventions of having pets and also having these capabilities of animals from animals. So, we might not know if, for example, if I wanted to have let's say a reptile, I would say that, for snakes, right? I mean,
It's not
it's
common.
very interesting, but somehow I know that there's surely
A little bit of that.
precaution in there, right?
There's a lot of negative things going on with snakes, actually. I mean, they're not bad creatures. As long as you don't harm them, they don't harm you. But
As long as they don't get hurt, right?
of course, yes, but because of the stereotype of people, like if they see snake, they directly kill it. It's actually not a good thing because snakes actually help also the environment to like
Our
lessen the pests of like rats and a lot of things. They eat those things, and actually they are part of the ecosystem, but because of the stereotypes that no, they bite, they're scared. Something you need to change the kind of things for reptiles also. Not just reptiles, but other like insects also, like spiders. Spiders is also one of like the stereotype like insects that people are afraid of because of this, because of that, because of the how they look like. Even though they're not really, they can't really harm you yet until you harm them.
Yeah.
It's just like when you're trying to talk to someone. If you try to punch them, of course they will punch back. I mean that's true even for them. So I'm not sure
Because they're being hurt, right?
yeah, I'm not. That's why I'm not sure how the stereotype thinking of people cannot be changed, even though it's really easy to understand that.
Right. That's why we would really, I mean, it would really encourage everyone to really know what are these kinds of animals, what are the things that they can do for people, especially. And of course, really need to have that thorough knowledge in order for us not to, again, hurt, to hurt them, know their characters, right? So,
Yeah, something like that. And also,
all in this book.
with also with Nicky Geiger's when you can see all the flashes faces of those animals.
Right.
It's actually yawning. I mean, no one really thought that you can see those animals while they're swimming. It's not like it's not common for you to see like animals, a lot of animals yawning. So this is actually quite an interesting book to go throughout because you will discover how they look like. You can laugh at it, you can have fun with it with your family, with your kids, and also learn from it actually. So that's actually one of the good things. And if you're actually really also interested in having this book for Nikki Geiger, and Who's Yawning Now, it's available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and also her website, NikkiGeiger.com. And you will know more a lot about her on this.
Of course. And also, on Nikki Geiger's book, Nelsie, she also mentioned there that all animals really yawn.
Yes.
Yeah. So wow, that's very interesting. Let's say
Every animal yawns. For example, an animal. So everyone is actually really interested in
they're
knowing
interested
how.
in wildlife. It's really in the story.
So for everyone who is actually really interested in knowing and wants to see how each animal yawns, you can actually really grab a copy of Nikki Geiger on her website, nikkigeiger.com, and also Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And after this section, we will be having another author of the art, Mr. Vernon Macaulay. He will be on our author of the hour later with his book Beyond the Shadows of the Sunset Grid and John's story. So stay tuned and have some fun learning more about Mr. Bernie Macaulay. And you can give like comments and chat for him to answer, and you will know more about it.
Yeah, so get the chance to interact with the author. So throw questions, whatever you think you wanted to know more about him, then yes, definitely. It's open for everybody. You can provide comments, suggestions, or questions that you can have there.
Yes,
so just check that one later after the question. Yep. See you later, guys.
We'll see you here.